Agriculture employs nearly 750,000 people and contributes more than $100 billion to Florida's economy annually. Now, Dale McClellan was recently voted Florida's Farmer of the Year. His Citrus County operations focus on serving healthier foods in Florida schools, although he's not just in Citrus County, and we'll explain that in a moment. And also joining us today via telephone, Dr. Kevan Main from Mote Aquaculture. And the reason she's on the phone with us, she is in Prague, the Czech Republic, where she's taking on the role as president of the International Aquaculture Society. And Kevan, I'm going to talk to you first to make sure you're there. You with us?
Yes, I am.
Great. Congratulations on your new appointment. And I want to talk about aquaculture in a moment. Just hang on for a second. Dale, I want to talk about this honor, Florida Farmer of the Year. And explain, you started out your company in 1987, one customer, one truck, correct?
Sort of, correct.
Okay.
I started my dairy farm, M&B, in 1977. I started the processing packaging company in 1987.
Okay.
We opened a brand new dairy farm in Citrus County in 2003. And we did start with one customer and one truck. My first customer, actually, let me back up and say it wasn't even a customer. The first positive nod I got from a potential customer was from the Hillsborough County school system. And they said that after doing some interviews with me when I was trying to start this new company, they told my financier that if I was the low bidder, they would buy from me. So it was a start. It was a toehold.
And so you deal in milk and juice products?
We do. We deal in milk and juice products, and we only do institutional foods, and we process and package milk, juice, water, frozen juice bars, etc. for schools, hospitals, nursing homes, and prisons.
Okay, so you're not going to find your product in any retail establishment?
No, sir. We don't do any retail.
Okay, and I said that you are focused on, there's a lot of concern, and we've had folks from all children's hospitals here this week talking about childhood obesity. This is a big issue. So, and there's been, not to knock any kind of, sugary soft drinks, and there's a place for those, but a lot of schools have replaced that with healthier alternatives, and you support that.
I do support that, and I'm proud to also say that my little company, M&B Products, was the first to come out with a new 22-gram sugar, reduced sugar product for school lunch programs. Our chocolate and strawberry milk are both non-fat, and they're both 22 grams.
Did you bring any samples?
I was not knowing where I was going. I was actually afraid to bring any liquid, to be honest with you. Let me add one thing to that.
Sure.
We're on the threshold, and I'm talking about in less than 2 weeks, of going around the state of Florida and actually showing a new white chocolate milk that I can add my product to skim milk, and it will not change the nutritional value at all. The fat grams, the sugar grams, everything will stay exactly the same. It will have a natural sweetener, and it will not, but it'll be stevia. So
I was going to ask if it would be stevia, yeah.
It will be stevia, and we're about to roll out the next big deal.
All right, when you have a tasting, like they have wine tastings, when you have your white chocolate milk tasting, I want to be there. Can you arrange an invitation?
I will.
Okay, I appreciate it. Dr. Main, thanks for hanging on with us. A lot of people will not be familiar even with the term, especially outside the Tampa Bay region, outside the state of Florida, may not be familiar with aquaculture as an industry. Explain what it is.
Well, aquaculture is the farming of fish and plants in water, and it's the same as agriculture, but it's just done in an aquatic medium.
And always in a controlled aquatic medium. We think of fish farms, for example. Is that what we're talking about?
Yes, that's exactly what we're talking about, and it's an industry that really needs to be expanded in the United States. And I'm working together with the Tampa Bay Partnership Program to look at opportunities to grow businesses in the region.
How many fish farms, I'm sure, aquaculture facilities, fish farms are there in the Tampa Bay region? Do you have an idea on that?
Well, I don't know in the Tampa Bay region, but in the state of Florida, we have 900 groups that have certificates, and they range in size from small family farms to larger operations. Now, within the Tampa Bay region, we have a fairly sizable industry made up of the freshwater ornamental fish farms.
Yes, well aware of that. In southern Hillsborough County, there are a considerable number of those. When it comes to fish for human consumption, that is raising fish on a fish farm for human consumption, why is that necessary? We think we have the Gulf of Mexico right here at our doorstep, a plentiful fishery, but of course it gets depleted at times, especially with certain species of fish.
We actually have a very limited fishery available from the Gulf of Mexico. The commercial fishing is supplying less than 50% of the seafood that we're eating today. And that is primarily, in fact, all of the seafood that we're eating is primarily being imported from around the world. Currently, imports in the United States are about 84% of the seafood that we're consuming.
Interesting. When we talk about aquaculture and then agriculture in the traditional sense, as we know a company like Dale has, are we all in together on something like this? I know they're two separate industries, but there has to be some common ground, is there not?
There absolutely is. You know, agriculture and aquaculture are one unit. I mean, we're farming in water or farming on land. It's still the same principles.
Dale, do you agree with that?
I do agree with it. I think a few years ago that different agriculture industries such as dairy or aquaculture got too involved in their own, and that we have begun to recognize the value and the strength in helping one another. And I think that agriculture is more close than it ever was.
How about leadership in the state of Florida when it comes to agriculture? Strong?
I think it is strong. I think that I actually come into this thing late and have been taught since I was about 47 years old how to get more involved. I had an issue that I didn't know how to deal with. I was scared to death to talk in front of people, and I finally had to learn to do things like we're doing today and represent myself. And I have become so aware of how strong we really are and how important we are to the economic development in this state and in Citrus and Hillsborough County. I work closely with the Chamber of Commerce, and we do great things together. I have the honor of having overheard somebody that didn't know me say the other day, the best thing that the EDC of Citrus County ever done and the cheapest thing they ever done was to bring Agriculture Alliance under its wing, because we are a very strong organization.
And explain your operation again, too, because you mentioned the dairy farm up in Citrus County.
Yes, sir.
But you have a facility in Temple Terrace.
Yes, sir.
And you employ how many people? Most of your employees are there, are they not?
Most of our employees are in Temple Terrace. We employ about 160 people, and about 15 of them are at the dairy farm. The rest of them are involved in processing and packaging. We run about 30 or 35 trucks to deliver school lunch programs, and of course we have an office staff, maintenance staff, so it's a pretty intense business.
And do you see expansion at any point, or are you happy with what you have now?
I need and want to expand the dairy farm in Citrus County, and I'm actually working with some of the local landfill people. We're going to try to take the waste of two industries and put them together and make compost and turn it into a positive thing. We're going to try to take yard waste and put it with dairy waste and make a good quality compost out of it. So
very responsible, yeah, environmentally friendly. Dr. Main, before I let you go, I want to talk about your new role, this international organization, which sounds like it's going to be some time consuming, some work, but it could really pay dividends down the road on a global level. Am I correct about that?
Absolutely. You know, the World Aquaculture Society has been in existence for more than 50 years. And they are the leading organization for coordinating research to help advance aquaculture technologies around the world. And today, I just arrived in Prague to attend a global aquaculture meeting, which will be taking place for the first 5 days in September. And representatives will be here from more than 100 countries, speaking about the advances that need to be made to keep growing and keeping the seafood supply safe.
Dr. Main, thank you so much. I don't know what time it is there, late in the evening by now, or early evening anyway, but thanks for taking the time, and congratulations on this new position. I'm sure you'll do very well in it. And by the way, Dr. Main is at Mote Marine is where that program is based. And Dale, congratulations once again to being Florida. I've never met Florida's Farmer of the Year before, so it's a pleasure to meet you today.
Let me tell you real quick,
Yes,
it's
sir.
not over yet. I'm still in the running for the Southeast Farmer of the Year, and
Good.
we'll find out about that in October.
Keep us posted. All right. Well, speaking of the health of our fisheries and our oceans, how a disastrous oil spill helped put USF's Marine Science Program on the map, and Kathy has more on that.